So before we get into the review, I have to admit I'm a complete noob when it comes to Korean movies. Like I've seen like Parasite and Train to Busan, so this super mainstream useless person. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Ashwati. Welcome back to my channel. I don't know why I did this weird thing with my hands, but welcome back. I'm shooting this on a Wednesday night, this week has just felt super long for me. It's just excruciatingly slow. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's not just me. But if you feel like you've had a long week, then I have something for you. Maybe it'll make your day a little better. Maybe it'll make your day a little more happier. I don't know if happy is the right emotion, but I think just gonna stick with happy. But yeah, I mean from the title, you know that I'm going to be talking about Minari. It's a fantastic movie. I came to know about it because Oscars came out earlier this week, and I sort of like check out the movies that have been nominated and check out the movies that have sort of been that have sort of won awards. Earlier, I used to be this kind of person who would wake up at 5:30 to like catch the Oscars and all that, but I'm just not that person anymore. But anyway, let's get right into it. But before we go there, please subscribe to my channel. I know it's just like 30 subscribers. It means absolutely nothing to you or to the world, but it would mean the world to me. I hope that this would rhyme, but it didn't. But anyway, just subscribe, and yeah, let's go. So before we get into the review, I have to admit I'm a complete noob when it comes to Korean movies. Like I've seen like Parasite and Train to Busan, so this super mainstream useless person. And the moral of this rant is that we should all see more Korean movies. It's coming from Minari. It's basically like the name Minari is a Korean herb that is used for cooking and for use as medicine. It's got countless properties, and it's known to thrive wherever it's planted, right? And that's super relevant for this movie. The movie is semi autobiography of the director's life, Lee Isaac Chung. I am pretty confident that I will mess up all the Korean names in this review, but I hope that my love for the movie supersedes my pronunciation capabilities. So we've got this family, right? We've got this family who's moved from Korea to US in the hopes of just having a better life and just living the American dream. We've got Jacob and Monica, who are the parents. They have their struggles, their own dynamic going on. They have the kids, Anne, who's the elder one, and we've got David, who's the younger son. Things sort of change in their lives when Monica's mother and David's grandmother decides to live in with them, and she acts like a catalyst as an accelerator for change and just moves the story forward. I personally really enjoyed David and his grandmother's relationship. It was the best part of the movie for me. Um, this, I think, even though it's a Korean film, I think a lot of Asians will relate because it reminded me of home and just the struggles my parents sort of saw and went through and just sacrifices they made. And it'll like definitely make you want to miss your grandmother. And I was a mess, but I'm easily messable that way because I'm super senti. But it's a very heartwarming film, and I think a few people had issues with the ending from what I've read and what I've seen. A few people didn't like the ending as much, but I think these few people have been spoon-fed endings. So I really like the ending. I personally liked it. It was a little open-ended, but and open to interpretation. But it just made me keep thinking even after the movie ended. So the acting in this movie has just been phenomenal, like so good across the board. They have some great fleshed out characters. I think you'll fall in love with David, played by Alan Kim. This kid can't be more than 5-6 years old, right? But he's just so sweet and innocent and just so cute that he's a bit of a brat as well. But you tend to ignore those parts of him because of the cuteness quotient. And like from the second you see David on screen, you fall in love with him. He's super amazing. Then you have the father, played by Steven Yeun. He's a provider, right? He shoulders a burden of the family, and he just wants he's just struggling with wanting to give them a better life, and just his hopes and dreams, just his hustle. And I think Steven did a great job in just showcasing those emotions really well. And the character Jacob, he doesn't really like confrontation, so he sort of runs away from it, especially when it comes to conversations with his wife, which is like most men I know. But so yeah, he also did a great job. Moving on to his wife, I think the actress called Yeri Horn. She is more subtle. She internalizes a lot of her thoughts and emotions and conflicts until it like reaches a boiling point. I have written one more point for her, but I'm not able to recognize her own handwriting, so we will move on. Going on to like my favorite character in the entire movie, her name is Yun Ye Chang, if that's the name. I hope that's the name. She plays a grandmother, and she's just amazing, just total OG, just like so funny, so blunt, and just so sweet, and just like she's like you can't. She's amazing, right? I don't know how else to put it. She is fantastic, and she brings a lot to every scene she is in. Then you have Noel Cho, who plays Anne, the elder sister of David. I think the only issue I had with the movie is I felt like while Jacob, Monica, and David and the grandmother had like a full blown character arc and things they had to do and things to say, I felt like Anne was she didn't have much to do or say. She was more like a sounding board where she was used as a tool to help us know what other characters felt or what they wanted to say. I just wish she had more of a rounded role in the movie. Otherwise, fantastic. I mean, the parents had a great dynamic going on because so many things going on in their life, right, with their house and everything that they're not being able to focus on themselves and their relationships. There's a lot of unresolved conflict and drama going on there, which I think was great for the movie. So if you just look at the universe of this movie, right, you just have a house, you have a farm, and then you have a small town with a few things here and there. So then that's just it, right? And they take these very, very, very normal things and elevate it to the next level because it's cinematically it's just beautiful and just so peaceful and just so soothing. Like you don't see it, you watch this movie and you're just completely immersed in it. You don't realize time flying, especially when it comes to the scenes inside their house. It just feels very intimate, like you're standing there like a fly on the wall, which I thought was great. They also had a super good soundtrack that was a mixture of I think Korean and like a Eastern Western kind of it had both Eastern and Western influences, and it added a whole new layer to the entire movie. There are a lot of scenes in this movie that I've not been able to talk about, that I've been dying to talk about, but I just want you to watch it for yourself because I want you to like truly experience that. This is the kind of movie that you should like stop everything and watch kind of a movie. It's amazing. I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, let me know if I missed anything in the comments. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My voice is gone, but like please subscribe.